$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. David Crosby. Every time I think of David Crosby, I think of, there's a happy man.
I mean, it seems like every time we even hear about David Crosby these days, it's because he's in a bad mood about something.
Yeah, so, of course, listen, if
I don't get it. He's got that sweet walrus, like the walrus mustache thing.
Yeah, you'd think that would make him happy.
Yeah.
Pro tip for anybody who's a celebrity in the music business. When anybody passes away and you're about to do an interview, they're going to ask you about it. That's a pro tip. So if you don't want to come off looking like a jackass like David Crosby, make sure you're prepared. Have something ready to say, because David Crosby was asked how he felt about Eddie Van Halen's passing, and David replied, meh. MEH, you know, the thing that people put on the internets all the time?
Right.
Meh.
Oh, your favorite word.
Yeah, I hate that word so much. I really, really do.
You don't like meh?
I don't like meh. It is so smarmy.
Like Danny says meh a lot.
Exactly.
He does.
Yeah, see,
there you go.
It's internet smarmy, you know, hey, look, I'm on the internets, and I go meh.
It's like I'm indifferent.
Oh, no, I don't think it's I'm indifferent. I think it's...
Oh, you don't... It's I don't give an F, but I'm doing it in a very passive-aggressive way?
Yes, it is. I am very sarcastically saying I don't give an F.
What's worse, someone saying meh or someone typing meh?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I've seen a lot of typed mehs that I don't like, but I haven't had too many people but Danny say it.
You know, if you're a 19-year-old girl, you shouldn't be typing meh.
All right. I don't have a problem with that.
But Danny just says it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I have ever said or typed it unless it's been about like a movie or something. It's like,
See, now, here's what irritates me. I get David Crosby. You're from a completely different generation, and maybe you didn't like Van Halen because you just thought their music wasn't what you think music should be, if that's a reason. But you can't deny that Eddie Van Halen was great at his craft, and even some people said changed his craft.
But part of me is wondering, is he just, I mean, David Crosby's just this grumpy old man.
I know.
That doesn't probably have any thoughts about Eddie Van Halen. I wonder if he didn't mean any harm by saying meh. But it was more just like, you know, I don't know him. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's like someone says, hey, well, how do you feel about the death of, and I could just like throw like a random wrestler out to you. You're going to be like, well, of course you're not happy someone dies, but you don't have an opinion on it.
See, here's how I've been trained in the world of empathy, and it is because of therapy.
Okay.
If you were to throw that at me, Steve, you're right. Inside I go, I really don't care.
Right. How do you feel about, you know?
But I know you do.
Right.
So, of course, I'm going to go, oh, man, sorry to hear that, because I know that it's a tough one for you. And I mean, come on, David. You know you're a national you're a celebrity, and you know that a lot of people loved Eddie Van Halen. To be able to go just meh means you don't have any empathy at all. Or why talk to people at that point?
Okay. I'm looking at the actual tweet now. It says this person by the name of Henrik wrote, I know you're not into metal, David, but what's your opinion on Eddie Van Halen? And he just wrote meh. So when I see it that way, obviously, with the passing of Eddie, because it was asked after Eddie passed.
Right.
But the person didn't ask, what do you think about the passing of Eddie? Where I think if he said meh, that would be really kind of tasteless. But he was more asking an opinion of Eddie as a guitarist.
And I still think meh is completely ignorant. I'm sorry, David, but you can't acknowledge that the guy was one of the greatest? That to me shows a lot of ignorance, unless I'm ignorant and Eddie wasn't that good. I mean,
no.
So that's what I'm saying.
I would say, even if you're not a fan of Eddie Van Halen, you have to acknowledge and appreciate. You don't have to say that's my favorite guitarist of all time, but you have to, acknowledge that he did influence so many guitarists, and he had a style that was very unique to him, and it was very popular.
And so he replied, sorry, just meant that he doesn't move me that much, because folks said, man, you were crude, unkind, you lacked empathy, and he's, his sorry is just it's a mitigated apology.
He doesn't give enough. That's why. He's just David Crosby.
Please don't let me get that old.
He even retweeted, somebody said, look, the guy was asked his opinion, not to give a flowery eulogy. He gave it. What do you want? And he retweeted that, which I thought was pretty funny.
And that's not the way life is supposed to be. That is unempathetic right now, and we do not need that right now. You ask somebody for their opinion, frankly, I don't want to hear from David Crosby. Stop putting a microphone in front of him then, because he's a miserable old F.
Well, in all fairness, it wasn't a microphone. It was a Twitter box.
Yeah, it actually doesn't bother me that much. I'm looking at it more just if you ask me my personal opinion on something and I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't really like it that
Especially
much.
when you're 80 years old and you just don't give an F.
And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to sit there and just because he died, be like, oh, he was the great, and go on a rant on it. At that point, if you said, if you ask me how do you feel about him dying? I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's
awful.
But do you understand?
Right.
Here's the thing: you got to look at context. He wouldn't randomly ask David Crosby that question if Eddie Van Halen hadn't just passed away. The timing is important. Context is important in life. I really believe so. In my opinion, if he asked him 5 months ago, I wouldn't have a problem with it, because Eddie's still alive. As far as we know,
man. I don't think he was insulting Eddie. As he wasn't oh, I'm glad he's dead, or something like that. That would have been awful. But he was just I'm not a fan of Eddie, and I'd rather that than honestly somebody all of a sudden talking about how Eddie changed their lives when for a fact they never even listened to Van Halen.
I agree with that.
There's people out there that all of a sudden they just want to get clout, and they jump on the latest trend of whatever celebrity passes away. All of a sudden, you were their biggest fan.
Well, let me tell you this: he's getting a lot of backlash from people, from real people, like Tracy Guns from LA Guns was very blunt in his reaction to what David Crosby said. He said, "quote Wrong answer as F and rude as F. There are better ways to say that you don't care for someone's music," and I 100% agree, especially with the timing of when that question was asked. And he said that was very disrespectful, and yes, straight out F you and your smug answer. I couldn't agree with Tracy Guns more. I couldn't.
Your smug answer.
Couldn't agree more.
Can we get those two in a room together?
Oh, Dee Snider had stuff to say.
Oh, good, because I was not going to go to bed tonight unless I found out what Dee Snider had to say about this.
Dee Snider presided over the Revs' wedding.
Exactly.
Kinda.
He was there.
Yeah,
he was walking by.
Yes.
He was at the same public place we were at.
He blessed it. He said, good luck to you.
Yeah, he's told me not to take a picture with him, but that was cool.
Well, let's be honest, Rev. You shouldn't. Nobody wants to be.
Well, in all fairness, you just didn't want to upstage you at your own wedding.
Oh,
that's
I remember what Dee Snider said when Rev said, hey, I'm getting married. He said,
let me guess.
Meh. There you go.
Let me where that one was going.
There you go. And Dee Snider said, shared Tracy's tweet and added, quote, agreed. That said, I've always hated David Crosby and his mustache.
Oh, now we've gone too far.
Mustache, man.
That mustache is one of life's great treasures.
This is really a microcosm of what's going on in the world today, though, when you think about it, right? I mean, and people are just hating on everybody.
Right. Someone shares an opinion, everyone hates the opinion, and everyone gets mad.
Yeah. Another fan reminded David that Eddie, quote, changed the world of guitar. David didn't agree. He said, quote, Hendrix changed the world of guitar. Nobody else really. Look, I get it. Many of you love Van Halen, and the one time I met him, he was nice and he was talented. Meh, to me means I don't care that much, and I don't. Doesn't mean he wasn't good, but he was not for me. Well, I appreciate that if he gave that answer, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
But he's answering people on Twitter that are just probably bugging him all the time, and he just wants to, here he is answering a question, and he just wants to be like, here's my answer. Meh.
Well, this is the problem with written word, Steve. You just don't know tone, and I don't think maybe he doesn't know that meh has changed over the years to be a sarcastic, smarmy.
As opposed to Met in the 70s?
Yeah, Met in the 70s was a lot different. I mean, I'm just saying, when you're on social media and you write, you don't get tone, you don't get facial expressions, you just miss a lot, and so therefore it can really come off in a way you don't intend.
But man, sometimes I just wonder if people are just looking to get mad. I mean, I'm not wondering it.
Oh, people are pissed,
I'm positive. People just look for any reason to get mad. Like, to me, like, this is not the end of the world. Like, this is just one man's opinion. And David Crosby. I'm not going to get mad that David Crosby doesn't care about Eddie Van Halen. Because I still do. So his opinion doesn't matter. It's like, okay, you don't like what he did, and you don't care about his contribution. Whereas I do. I enjoy listening to Van Halen, and I love Eddie's guitar solos. Doesn't make me despise David Crosby because his opinion is not the same as mine.
Yeah, I think it depends on how close you, like how much it really meant to you. Like how hard it hit you. Like, I don't know if there's anybody who's a celebrity in your life that really, really inspired you to the point where if somebody was insensitive, you'd be pissed.
I don't think he was being insensitive.
Well, yeah, I know you don't, but I mean,
well, that's what you just asked me an opinion on my opinion, and I just gave it to you, and you're like, well,
so if somebody important in your life passed away, and you asked me, and somebody,
yeah,
I go,
if someone said, like when Chris Cornell passed away, and I'm a huge Cornell fan, or even Cobain, or Lane Staley even, and someone's just like, yeah, I don't think he's that great of a singer. I'm like, all right. Like, that doesn't affect my opinion and my feelings about Chris Cornell.
But if it just when he passed away, somebody said that, and that, like, meh. Like, I could, like, that's the only thing I
get worked up about it.
See, I think it's.
Why get worked up about it? What does it matter? That's his opinion. How is his opinion changing anything in life?
But you see, people are getting worked up about it, and I think it's because it's so close to his death.
But whose fault is that then? Is it his, or is it the people that are getting worked up about it?
Well, that's always a good question. I mean, that's a deep question.
You know how if I was that heartbroken about Eddie Van Halen passing, let's just say, crushed me. Maybe I had a personal connection with him. Like, let's use Craig Gass. I live with him or something like that. David Crosby gives his opinion. I don't give an F. What does David Crosby's opinion matter to me? I don't have he's not a relative. He's not like my close friend. And even if he was, I'd be like, all right, that's your opinion, man. Whatever. Like, I don't know why my life needs to change because of the opinion of some crusty old man with an awesome mustache.
And you're also the one that didn't ask for the opinion. Like,
right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody just randomly on Twitter asks him, like, you have no investment in it. So why are you getting mad about reading just a reply on Twitter?
People do, man.
Well, I will say this to both of you gentlemen. It is easy for you, when something doesn't bother you, to go, why should it bother me? That's the key. And you're very lucky, both of you, that you have this ability to not let that kind of stuff bother you. It's just when things bother you, that's when you got to go, am I being unreasonable or not? And that's the thing. I mean, for me, I get it, but I understand your point of view because your point of view is much more healthy. Not letting stuff bother you is a healthy way to go through life. No doubt about it.
Well, yeah, it's easy for me not to let it bother me because I have no personal connection to Eddie other than him being a fan of his music. Like, if Valerie Bertinelli came out or Wolfgang came out and said, I don't appreciate what he said, I mean, okay, I get why they don't appreciate it. That person helped, that person's a massive part of their life. But me? Why am I mad at David Crosby? Seriously, though.
No, I know what you mean. I get it. I just think in the global world that we live in, what you say is true, Steve. If we could all be therapeutically healthy enough to understand, even if I was Valerie Bertinelli, to go, it's the same reason. Valerie Bertinelli could also be, from a healthy standpoint, I don't care what David Crosby has to say. Mm-hmm. I loved Eddie, and I don't care what anybody says. I know what I feel. That's the thing. That is healthy. It's just that a lot of people aren't there therapeutically, and empathy is really a big thing in life. And I just feel like, David, if I was his friend, I would have pulled him aside and go, David, why are you always coming off like a miserable old guy? Because he does. Everything he says, he comes off like a miserable old guy. And I know on myself, I don't want to be that guy. And I want my friends around me to go, hey, dude, don't be the miserable old guy. That's not helping anybody. Nobody likes a miserable old guy. And David Crosby comes off that way all the time.
If I had David Crosby as a friend, I would always ask him his opinion on anything because he gives entertaining answers being the miserable old guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's guys like him and Steve Miller. It's just, I just like.
Oh man, I want a podcast with those two.
Yeah, that would be a.
That's grumpy old men.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? I've lived that part of my life. I can see how it would be enjoyable because, you've had a lot more sanity in your life than I have. I'm just done with that. I'm just done with miserable old people because I pretty much have been a miserable old person pretty much for all my life.
Even in your 20s.
Oh, yeah. I was, man. So that could be a big trigger on me is like, yeah, that's probably what I would have said some time ago, and I would have been completely callous and rude. But you're right at the end of the day, Steve. It's like, who cares what anybody thinks as long as you're cool? So, all right, we got a man drinking cran raspberry juice that has helped Fleetwood Mac become relevant again. This is, if you don't know what's going on, this is the most insane thing I've this. Yeah, and how about this? This dude helped a record of theirs that is over 40 years old hit number 1 on the charts. I'm going to tell you all about this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. I'm sure by now you've seen that video of the dude skateboarding to work, drinking from a bottle of Ocean Spray cran raspberry juice and singing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Dude, I love that video because of the whole backstory. It was like, it was a dude, his car broke down, so he's like, screw it, let me grab my longboard and I'm just going to go to work. And he looked like, if my car broke down and I had to get on a skateboard to head to work, I'd probably be in a bad mood. And he's just loving life, man.
Viewed over 30 million times, the video, and Nathan is quite a famous guy. Lots of people have done their own version of this, and you know what? A lot's happened to Nathan ever since the breakdown of the car and getting on the longboard, because Ocean Spray bought him a truck filled with bottles of cran raspberry juice.
Wow.
Yeah, they bought him his own truck. So it's his truck, and they filled it with cran ras.
It would have been funny if he's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, oh, the truck's not yours. We're just transporting all of the cranberry juice. We're Ocean Spray. We're not Toyota.
And there are two things, I mean, that were really benefited from this. Ocean Spray is one of them. The other one, of course, Fleetwood Mac. And so Mick Fleetwood, who is the founder of the band, even posted a response video of him doing his own version of Nathan's video. And Fleetwood Mac, man, they have really, really just shot up on the charts. Dreams, which was first released back in 1977. And look, it's a terrific song.
Brad, do you have it? Because I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know this.
Oh, yeah, I love that song.
It's a great song.
Best song ever.
And how about this? It was, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Stevie Nicks. She was, and still is, actually.
See, anytime I hear her voice, I just think cocaine being shot up a certain body part with a straw. It's probably not what she's hoping for, but...
No, you know, she's doing a new song.
What's it called?
Well, Dave Grohl's part of it. Like she's.
Oh, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was
not a joke. No,
coke up the butt. Coke up the butt.
I saw. I hope it's true.
Coke up the butt.
Coke up the butt. No, it's not. I don't think that's the song that Dave Grohl's on. I saw it on Facebook. I hope it's real. But I saw that she's got a new song in her first song in 9 years. And yeah, of course, Dave Grohl. He's everywhere.
He can do no wrong. So I mean, anyone's going to want to get that Dave Grohl rub.
Yeah. And so how about Dreams back in 1977, with big song then, number 1 right now on iTunes because of Nathan. And their greatest hits album is number 5.
Can we call him by his username on TikTok?
What's that?
Dogface208.
Okay.
Dog with 2 G's.
Yeah, so what's really cool, obviously, is that Mick Fleetwood's very, very happy that Nathan did this. And so they, too, met virtually on a BBC News broadcast. And here's Mick going, hey, man, we owe you a lot, brother.
It's such a celebration of everything. I've heard you talking about it, and it's so joyous and fun. I just want to say, outside of Fleetwood Mac, we owe you. It's such a great story and so needed. It makes people smile. I'm so happy to be part of it. And congratulations on a wild, wild skateboard journey that has led us to talking today. So it's truly my pleasure.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you for going out and making your own TikTok. Just everything that you guys did, the band retweeting it and everything, you know what I mean? It's amazing that you would just go out and take the time to do that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel blessed and I appreciate you. It's just awesome.
You know, up until now, I really didn't think TikTok really served any good, but this was actually a pretty fun thing about it. I mean, this guy, well, he looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Right? Over 36 million views, it looks like, according to this story.
Pretty amazing.
And apparently he's had like some tough times financially, lives in like an RV, and people just started donating money to him as well.
Yeah,
He's got all the cranberry juice that he wants for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and it's because the guy comes from really humble situations and yet has a great attitude, which, you know, I have a lot more than that guy. And I, like you said, if that happened to me, my car breaks down, I'm miserable. But how about him going, yeah, you know what, I'll figure it out and I'm going to sing on my way and do it. I mean, it's just astounding.
He's got a good vibe to him, man, with that song and the video. And he just looks like he's happier than anything, just skateboarding around. I would have broke my hip or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what, but like be able to film yourself in selfie mode, drink out of a giant jug of cranberry juice, and still pay attention to what you're doing on the skateboard.
Boy, and just the simple pleasures. It's like, why do I want to let he's definitely a dude that loves what is, man. He's like, all right, this is what my life is supposed to be right now. I'll enjoy it as opposed to be resisting it. I have spent a lot of money in therapy to get to where that dude already is.
And got no cran raspberry drink out of it.
No, I got nothing out of it. It's amazing.
Maybe that's what it was. You need the cran ras drink to just calm everything down and be chill.
And it was just like the bottle was like more than half drunk. So I mean, he was already putting work into that bottle,
chugging it.
See, I couldn't drink a whole bottle of that because I'd be looking for the bathroom in about 5 minutes. Yeah. That's the other part of it. Is like, man, that guy's a hero just because he looks like he just can drink that and not have to worry.
And Fleetwood Mac won't be calling you either. No, man. Imagine like you wake up and you're David Crosby. Like, why all of a sudden are people talking about my band again? You know, I mean,
you mean Mick Fleetwood?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
David Crosby would go back to this. Meh, I don't care.
This guy.
What's his opinion about this?
Yeah. Hey, David, what do you think of Fleetwood Mac and the guy with the cranberry raspberry?
But it kind of makes me want to listen to Fleetwood Mac now.
Oh, dude, that Rumors album is so good.
See, and Rev, you were listening to Rumors before all this happened. So
yeah, I was.
I'd like to think that there was somewhat of a revival, unless you just happen to be like Mr. Foreshadower.
I think I just stumbled upon it. It was nothing other than it was a really good album that I just discovered recently.
Oh, I didn't even know this. Someone said, I saw Danny drinking a pumpkin spice latte on a skateboard in Lakewood yesterday.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. You know, I figured I'd do my own version of it and...
With a pumpkin head on.
Pumpkin head on, just pour it all over myself.
Just pour it right down that.
Boy,
Jack
Danny,
Leonard
you know
face.
what, Danny? You really
thirsty.
are all into Halloween. I got to give you credit, buddy.
Someone said his name is actually 420 Dogface 208. My bad. There was a 420 in there. Not surprised. You're listening to Fleetwood Mac, just chilling on your longboard.
So he's got some help.
Well, yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a cran raspberry and a good attitude, but he's got a little 420 assisting him, which I don't have a problem with. But now I feel a little bit better going, all right, well, at least, you know, the guy he gets a little help from his friend. His friend being Integrity Farms. For you South Park weed fans. Good story, man. I mean, Mick Fleet was right. We need stuff like that because, you know, then you got the other stuff going on.
Well, you know, he likes it too because all of a sudden people are listening to his music again.
Oh, yeah. But it's well worth it. Rev is right. I mean, they have the greatest hits album, but Rumors is almost like a greatest hits album. It's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever heard of the old theory that couples in long-term relationships start to look alike over time? Steve, I don't know what it is, if it's because of Baby Tatum, but I'm starting to feel like you and your wife look alike because I look at Tatum and I feel like I see both of you in them, and then when I see the three of you together, it's like you all look alike to me.
She definitely will bridge the two. I feel like because I've heard that story before, and I often see some of my friends, I'm like, man, he looks a lot like his girlfriend, or she looks a lot like him, and you start noticing like the similarities, and I don't notice it with my wife and I think good for her, thankfully, because she doesn't want to look like this. But Baby Tatum has like certain features of both of us, and I can see both of us in Baby Tatum.
Yeah. And this theory,
because that means that it's my baby.
Well, yeah, that's important.
That's right.
Yeah. That would be a whole different conversation.
Yeah, right.
And we'd have to get another story about DNA testing. The theory comes from a 1987 study that said couples started to look similar because they mostly ate the same diet, kept the same lifestyle, spent the same time outdoors, laughed the same amount. It was a theory, but they did a survey. They did a study to see if it's possible.
So eating the same food could make, allegedly.
this was the
quote me,
theory.
I'm not a scientist.
So those researchers, they ran a larger study, and they really couldn't find any evidence that couples start to look alike more over time. But they did find out that couples do look alike from the beginning. So, in other words, you tend to be attracted to you. Is for, that a part of the physical attraction you may have to somebody.
Am I a masochist if I'm attracted to myself?
I hate to say it, buddy. Probably a better looking version of yourself. I think that's the big part of it. Because I have seen that. I have seen people and I go, wow, you're actually a better looking version of blank. And then I realize I really can't say that anymore. That's really not a nice thing to say.
It doesn't really come off very well.
Yeah. But I have seen people going, wow, you look just like this celebrity who I don't consider attractive, but you have better features, so you're a more attractive version of that. So is that what we do when we look for our partner? We pick a more attractive version of ourselves in our brain, at least?
I don't think so, personally. I mean, I was attracted to my wife because she's attractive. Why would I want to look for someone that looks like me?
Yeah, right. Well, it looks like you may have, though, because...
I don't buy it.
Well, you never buy anything in science. I don't even know why I bother with you. Jesus, why? Should I read the rest of the story, or is Sammy Science Dismisser just going to say nope?
Yes, as the Sammy Science Dismisser, I'm saying I personally don't think I was.
Of course, you don't want to believe that. I think your wife and you actually, and maybe it is Tatum, but I'm like, when I've seen you guys together, I go, it does. I see some similarities.
Steve, could you find a blonde curly wig and then put that on so I can kind of compare and contrast there?
All right, fine, Rev.
Let me say this.
I mean, we got the same lips.
If you
we got juicy lips.
Okay. Did you just say you both have the same something?
Yeah.
Okay, you're also Harry Hypocrite. Nice to be part of the story. Why do I talk to him? Danny, why?
I'm not attracted to her because her lips are the same. Like, I'm not like, oh, your lips remind me of me.
How would you know if it's subliminal? You don't know what's going on in that brain of yours.
I know
it's
everything.
Still working?
I know everything.
Oh, Danny, did you find yourself attracted to your girl because you think she looks like you?
No, we do not look like at all.
Does Sarah's guy look at all like her?
No.
She's not like, oh, I think he reminds me. I have similar beard. Like,
I have a similar beard. Look, they found that the average couple looks more similar than a pair of two random people on the street. So their theory is that we're just naturally drawn to people who have similar facial features because maybe we're deeply vain. Now, it's not everybody. When you look, there's always exceptions to every rule. You can't point out the exception to say that the rule doesn't exist. That's not how it works. So maybe Sarah and J-Rubs don't look alike, but you and your wife with your, what'd you say, tasty lips? What did you call it?
Juicy, I believe.
Juicy lips. Yeah.
Tasty, huh?
And
I mean, that's your own thing, BJ.
you know what, Danny? I'd have to take a look at you and your girl again, but I feel like there may be some similarities there.
All right.
What about Rev and the Wifeski?
Rev and the Wifeski? No. You know what? I actually do, when I do see similarities, of course.
What?
In Rev's case and in your case, Steve, you are the uglier versions of your people that you
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Wow. Danny, on the other hand, look, I don't want to insult his girlfriend, but Danny's always pretty because he's got that sweet ass, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Danny's sweet ass.
Danny will always be prettier than anybody he's next to.
I forgive you.
Yeah.
Wow. So is this why you're attracted to Gary Ridgway, PJ?
Oh, they're dating.
Yeah. And there we go. All righty. It's so good to bring up a science thing that I almost swore about.
I know, I could tell.
I mean, you and your wife do kind of look alike. Every time you send us selfies, I'm like, which one's BJ? I can't tell.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead and say no to science. You guys go ahead. This is why society's in the shape.
I've been saying no to science since science started.
Yeah.
Since science started.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow, you've been around a while. Okay. Yeah, you've been saying no to that, huh? You and Thomas Dolby not on a good speaking terms, huh?
But there are a few people on my Facebook page where I see the two of them. I'm like, my goodness gracious, are they related or are they in a relationship?
Why not?
That's because of science! Jesus! My wife's lips look like mine. I do see people that look alike. Nope, I don't believe it.
I don't.
Are you a flat earther? Just come out and say you're a flat earther.
Oh, please be.
I've been all around this planet. I know for sure it's flat.
You've been to Spokane.
Yeah, guess what? It's flat over there.
That doesn't count as being all around this planet. We go to Spokane every Easter. Come on.
I circle this entire planet.
Oh, did you really?
I know for sure it's flat.
Okay, very good. Hey, let me tell you about this jilted British woman that is that's brilliant. Talk about science. How about she allegedly hacked into her ex-boyfriend's Amazon Alexa device to scare off his new girlfriend? This is trippy if all of a sudden my Alexa was starting to scare me.
See, if it was that part about scaring off, that's when it's like, okay, she's leaning towards the crazy side. If she was just doing it to mess with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, then she's leaning more towards like troll, funny side.
Yeah. Her name is Philippa. She's 45 years old, and she was accused in court of using the Amazon virtual assistant to flash the house lights and send warning messages after being dumped by her boyfriend of 2 years. Whoa. The defendant spoke through the Alexa account to tell the complainant's friend in the property to leave and to take her stuff. And so the girl was like, what is going on? So
all right, you're in a new relationship with someone, and all of a sudden that happens on your new boyfriend or girlfriend's Alexa. Are you like, you know what, I should get out before it gets crazier?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing that.
Like, I hate to punish that person for who they once dated, but I don't know if I really want to put up with this.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I mean, outside of a restraining order, what are you going to do about the crazy ex? You can't do anything about it. And I don't want that in my life. It's like, look, you're probably a nice person, but until you get this ex stuff worked out, I'm out. How about, because also she's accused, good old Philippa, accused of hacking into her ex's Facebook account and uploading nude pictures of him on his own account.
Awesome. Wow. Okay, now that part I'm fine. I'm kidding.
How does she she's brilliant. The government needs to hire her.
Or is she brilliant, or is he stupid and like his password is like password 69?
Well, do you share passwords? Because, I mean, I know couples do.
Do we share like that? No, she knows all my passwords for the things that she especially needs to get into, because I don't feel like having to answer like, hey, can you order this on PayPal? I was like, here's my damn password, just take care of it. Like, you know what I mean?
So if things went south in your relationship, you'd either you really have to be vigilant and change everything and remember, or B, you're going to have something like this happen if you just don't even think about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's pretty much every single password that should be able to just instantly go into, or she'd be able to figure it out because she knows my method.
Yeah. Like, I know all my wife's passwords, but she doesn't know mine because I'm the password whisperer in our family.
Because you're the one in control.
Well, she doesn't want to do anything. You know, she's like you. She's just like, I don't know. I just want to turn the computer on. Why is it got to be such a difficult thing? You know, so I could be that crazy ex myself. So that's how it could happen. So I'm not going to throw stones at the boyfriend, because some people just won't care about all that crap.
Yeah, but knowing someone's password and actually using it to like, because you're no longer in a relationship with them, that's so silly.
Oh yeah, it's bad. And so
someone's giving me a hard time, BJ. How do you circle a planet that's flat? Come on, Migs.
Oh, so you're a bad flat earther too? He can't get anything right.
Joke. Yeah, really, somebody's not very good.
He can't get anything right, can he? No, I'm going along with the texter. I'm not going to say it was a joke. I'm going to say Steve's a bad flat earther.
Damn it, you got me, man.
Yeah. Wow, you really didn't last long as a flat earther.
You know what? I proved myself wrong.
You have the first question. Can you circle the planet if it's flat? Yeah, yes, you're out.
Sure, why not?
Jerk. Well, yesterday, Stevie Science did get this one wrong.
What kind of animal is a sea monkey?
Sea monkey is a marsupial.
No.
A fish?
No.
An animal is a sea. It's a creature.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it is.
I feel like you should have got that right, to be honest with you. Technically, you were right. That Rev was because Rev didn't know it was also a crustacean.
Shame on him.
As well as being a shrimp. But yeah.
Shame.
Hey, would you like to try to beat Migs? All right, you can do it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. And thanks for listening.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.